Welcome back to another episode of Grizzly True Crime. My name is Gisela K, and today we're going to be reading through the criminal complaint and probable cause affidavit of Jessy Kurczewski. She's now 39 years old, and she's on trial for the murder of her friend Lynn Hernan, who was 62 when she died on October 3rd of 2018. This happened in Pewaukee, Waukesha County in Wisconsin, and in June of 2019, after Lynn's autopsy was complete and the investigation had been done for months, it was determined that Lynn died by tetrahydrozoline poisoning, which is the main ingredient in eye drops. And so investigators and medical examiners deemed her death a homicide, and their prime and only suspect is Jessy Kurczewski. At the time of this recording on October 30th of 2023, we've already watched week 1 of the trial together, and we're doing it on a 1-day delay so that we can cut through all the tea breaks and lunch breaks and everything and all the paper flapping. So if you haven't seen any of those live streams yet, you can catch up in minimal time. Everything's also time-stamped for you, so if you look at the pinned comments or in the description box or you just hover over the video, you can see key moments throughout the day if you just want to catch up quickly. If you haven't yet followed this case, I would highly recommend checking out day 1 of the trial, because there I first offered a presentation, which is what this is part of, to get you up to speed about what this case is about, where did it happen, how did they know each other, and all of that. So do check that out. This is just really to supplement the coverage that I'm already doing so that we have read through this entire probable cause affidavit together. It's 13 pages, so we're going to do that now.
I can't believe this has happened. People are greedy and stupid, and stuff like this happens, I guess, all the time, unfortunately.
State of Wisconsin, plaintiff versus Jessy R. I think her second name is Rose Kurczewski, and she was born in 1984. And criminal complaint says the undersigned of the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department, being first duly sworn on oath upon information and belief, states that Count 1, first-degree intentional homicide. The above-named defendant on or about Wednesday, October 3rd, 2018, at that address in Meadowgrass Circle in the city of Pewaukee, Waukesha County, Wisconsin, did cause the death of victim A with intent to kill that person, contrary to those codes. In Wisconsin, a Class A felony, and upon conviction shall be sentenced to imprisonment for life. Count 2, theft, movable property, more than $10,000. The above-named defendant between approximately January 1st, 2016, so already then this started, when she was stealing money from Lynn. So if you haven't followed the trial with us, it seems like the motive was money, that Jessy was digging into Lynn's money without her consent, and when the money was depleted, then she wanted her estate, because it seems like she had offered herself up to Lynn as in the role of a caretaker, that she would take care of her as her health deteriorated. Maybe she was being poisoned with eye drops for longer than we know. That's what we seem to all be thinking as we are watching this trial unfold. And so when Lynn passed away, the estate went to Jessy. And so she had another $150,000 to spend. And she spent a lot of Lynn's money on gambling, on buying her friends lavish gifts like laptops and Game Boys, and she bought handbags, just all sorts of things. So these charges are no surprise if you are caught up with the trial, right? So just to read that sentence again, they say, at that address, right, did intentionally transfer movable property of victim A, to wit, money having a greater value of $10,000 without consent, and with intent to permanently deprive the owner of possession of the property. Contrary to those codes, a Class G felony, and upon conviction may be fined not more than $25,000 or imprisoned not more than 10 years or both. Count 3, theft, movable property, more than $10,000 to $100,000. The above-named defendant, between approximately October 4th of 2018, so that's a day after Lynn had died, because then Jessy had started selling all her stuff, the condo, everything in it. She wanted to get rid of her cats. I mean, Lynn loved her cats. She took in stray cats, and her obituary says that she wants donations to be made to a no-kill shelter. So to think that Jessy was like, oh, I've got these 2 cats here. If someone doesn't pick them up, I'm going to have to put them down. So can someone please adopt them? Is just so heartbreaking. So to continue on, the above-named defendant, between approximately October 4th of 2018 and July 9th of 2019, at that address, did intentionally transfer movable property of the estate of victim A, to wit, money having a value greater than $10,000 but does not exceed $100,000, without consent and with intent to permanently deprive the owner of possession of the property, contrary to those sections and codes, and upon conviction may be fined not more than $25,000 or imprisoned not more than 10 years or both. Probable cause. And prays that the defendant be dealt with according to law, that the basis for the complainant's charge of such offense is your complainant bases this complaint upon his review of the investigative reports of various personnel of the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department, all of whom are believed to be truthful and reliable in this instance. The reports of Deputy Mick indicate that on Wednesday, October 3rd, 2018, he was dispatched to the address at Meadowgrass Circle at approximately 4:55 p.m. when a caller, Jessy Kurczewski, the above-named defendant, indicated the resident of that address, her friend, victim A, was not conscious and not breathing. Upon arrival, Deputy Mick noted a pale, unconscious female subject, later identified as victim A, lying in a recliner in the living room. Deputy Mick indicated he noticed a large amount of crushed medication on her chest and a plate directly to the left of her, with a large amount of what appeared to be crushed up medication still on the plate. They have shown us those exhibits already in week 1 of this trial, so if you missed that, go and check that out. Deputy Mick further noted, the plate, by the way, with the crushed pills. They didn't show any graphic photos or anything like that, and even if they did, we wouldn't show it on this channel. Pewaukee fire personnel also responded and confirmed victim A to be deceased. Based on the initial observations, investigators believed this could have been a drug OD. The reports of Deputy Mick further indicate speaking to a neighbor of victim A, identified as Witness A, who advised that she had visited victim A in the hospital on the preceding Saturday or Sunday. Witness A stated after visiting victim A in the hospital, victim A was released from the hospital the next day. Once victim A was at home, Witness A advised she received a phone call from victim A stating victim A had fallen inside of a home and could not get up. Witness A indicated that she and Kurczewski responded to victim A's address and assisted the victim A off the floor. Witness A indicated she did not believe that victim A was suicidal and had never been given the impression that victim A was suicidal. The reports of Deputy Mick further indicate additional investigation that day revealed that Kurczewski had keys for the residence due to providing recent care for the victim. The reports of Deputy Mick further indicate additional investigation that day revealed that Kurczewski had keys for the residence due to providing recent care for victim A. Kurczewski further advised that she was the only one who provided care for victim A, and Kurczewski was unaware of any family of victim A. The reports of Deputy Jacoby indicate obtaining a statement from Kurczewski on October 3rd, 2018, in which Kurczewski indicates that she checks in on victim A 2 to 3 times daily to take care of her. As we said during the trial coverage, it sounds like she took care of her. Kurczewski stated victim A was released from the hospital on Friday, September 28th of 2018. According to her, at that time, the hospital wanted victim A to stay as an inpatient for rehabilitation, but victim A refused. Further, according to Kurczewski, victim A was supposed to have home healthcare visits on October 1st of 2018, but victim A pushed back the appointment until Friday, October 5th of 2018. Kurczewski also advised that she believed victim A's behavior throughout the week was odd, including throwing out bills and stating that the hospital won't get her money. Kurczewski stated victim A's pills were off when Kurczewski checked them, which included having either too many pills or not enough pills. According to Kurczewski, victim A kept assuring, I'm just going to say Jessy, that's quite a surname to say the whole time, okay? Victim A kept assuring Jessy where victim A's important papers were and was repeatedly telling Jessy what she wanted done with her cats, informing Jessy that she did not want to go into a nursing home. Jessy stated that victim A was constantly worrying if she would end up having to leave her home for medical reasons. Jessy indicated she believed there was a possibility that victim A was suicidal, but also stated she believed victim A really loved her cats, often worried about them, and wouldn't want to leave them behind. Jessy again reiterated that victim A had no family and didn't really have any contact with anyone besides Jessy. Jessy indicated she was a family friend of victim A and also the power of attorney for victim A. The reports of Deputy Estes indicate that on December 19th of 2018, she met with witness C, who stated that victim A was a good friend of his. He stated that he did not believe her death was a drug overdose, but believed that Jennifer Flower, the mother of Jessy, and Jessy were involved in the death. Witness C stated he has known victim A for a long time and does not believe victim A would intentionally or unintentionally overdose. He believed Flower, so Jessy and her mom, was somehow involved based on the fact that they entered victim A's life, lived in her home, used her things, and then after her death, they were selling her property and using her Jeep, which witness C believed was supposed to go to victim A's nephew. The reports of Detective Cole indicate that on January 24th of 2019, he met with witness B. Witness B stated he contacted the Waukesha County Medical Examiner's Office inquiring about the death of his cousin, victim A. Witness B indicated that he had concerns about the circumstances of victim A's death. Witness B stated that victim A was his cousin and that victim A was somewhat close with witness B's mother, who is deceased. Witness B found it suspicious that victim A would leave her entire estate to Jessy. Witness B stated that he did a CCAP check of Jessy and noticed that she had several convictions of forgery and fraud, which we've also gone over. Witness B wanted to make sure that the will filed in probate was authentic and wanted to make sure there was nothing suspicious about the death of victim A in the medical examiner's autopsy report. The reports of Detective Cole further indicate that in January 2019, he was contacted by Waukesha County medical examiner Dr. Linda Bedriski, who's already taken the stand as well, excellent witness, who advised that toxicology results from the autopsy of victim A showed that victim A had a fatal overdose of tetrahydrozoline in her system. Detective Cole noted tetrahydrozoline is the main ingredient in eye drops. Dr. Bedriski advised that there should not be any tetrahydrozoline in someone's blood, but that victim A had 160 nanograms per milliliter of tetrahydrozoline in her blood. Dr. Bedriski did advise that tetrahydrozoline could be considered poisonous to the human body, and it would be impossible to have that level of tetrahydrozoline in the blood just by using it in the eyes. The reports of Detective Cole indicate that after that meeting, the investigation was reopened and continued. Your complainant further notes that in an autopsy protocol completed by Dr. Bedriski and in an attached letter dated September 27, 2019, Dr. Bedriski listed the cause of victim A's death as tetrahydrozoline poisoning and concluded that the manner of victim A's death was homicide, not a suicide or an accident. Your complainant is further aware that on March 9th, 2019, Detectives Cole and Hop met with Jessy and her mother, Jennifer Flower, at the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department. Kurczewski indicated that she had been calling the medical examiner's office multiple times asking about the toxicology results for victim A and showed a great deal of interest and curiosity in those toxicology results. Jessy described many medical ailments that victim A had prior to her death and told detectives how frustrating it was that doctors could never diagnose or assist victim A with her ailments. Now, if you're watching this on the day of this recording, October 30th of 2023, tomorrow we're going to be looking at that police interview, which is day 5 of the trial. That's what we're doing tomorrow. So make sure that you are subscribed with the notifications turned on so that you don't miss out on that. Jessy questioned whether victim A died of medical reasons or whether the death was a suicide. She's not questioning homicide, of course. The toxicology results were not shared with Jessy at that time. Smart, they didn't even tell her then. Jessy said she became victim A's caregiver because her mother was busy and stated that she had been at the residence every other day for the last 6 months of victim A's life. But in the 2 weeks prior to death, Jessy would be at the residence twice a day assisting victim A. Jessy claims that hospital staff and doctors were so concerned about Victim A that they placed cameras in her hospital room. Jessy talked about Victim A not taking her medications appropriately when she was in the hospital and not getting her Xanax. Victim A made Jessy go to the residence to bring the Xanax back to the hospital even though Victim A wasn't supposed to have it there. Jessy stated that toward the end of her life, Victim A stopped allowing anyone else in her life to see her, that she was embarrassed and wouldn't even want friends to visit or know when Victim A was hospitalized. Jessy spoke about how Victim A turned into a different person toward the end of her life based on these medical ailments and wouldn't let others see her anymore. During the discussion, Flower offered that she believed the death was a suicide, at which point Jessy indicated Victim A was sick of being sick and having no answers. If you're watching the trial with us, you'll know how very frustrating these statements are. The reports of Detective Toole indicate on July 9th of 2019, he spoke to witness D, who advised that he and his girlfriend, Jessy, had lived together for approximately a year and a half. Witness D stated that Jessy would see Victim A approximately 1 to 2 times a month, going over there and smoking cigarettes. He further stated that Jessy and Victim A would talk every day on the phone. Jessy would help with Victim A's shopping, and according to witness D, then when Victim A got sick, Jessy would pay her bills. Witness D indicated that he was advised by Jessy that Victim A had become very sick and was in a coma for approximately 5 months at the Fruitard Hospital before she passed away, which isn't true. Oh man, so he indicated that he had never met Victim A and never saw any mail or applications for credit cards at his house, but believed that Jessy was in control of a post office box in Hales Corners, where Jessy would pick up Victim A's mail. Witness D again stated that Jessy spent more time with Victim A near the end of Victim A's life while Victim A was in a coma, and stated that Jessy then visited Victim A quite often, approximately 2 to 3 times a week. This investigation revealed that Victim A was never in a coma or hospitalized for a 5-month period of time at the Fruitard prior to her death, directly contrary to what Jessy told Witness D. The reports of Detective Toole further indicate that Witness D stated that Jessy had power of attorney for healthcare over Victim A and was the executor of Victim A's will. Witness D stated that Jessy earned approximately $20 per hour or less at her job at a dental office, yet Witness D stated that in their free time they went to, oh no, guys, I have to pronounce this, Potawatomi Casino, probably 2 times a month on average, and spent roughly $500 a night per person. Witness D stated that it was hit or miss as far as their winnings, but indicated approximately a year and 1/2 ago he won $70,000. Witness D stated that Jessy actually claimed the $70,000 and put it on her taxes. He indicated later they were both sitting at the machine and split the money. He said $20,000 was put into a savings account for Jessy for taxes, and he got $20,000. He stated he paid off a $16,000 credit card debt worth the money. An additional interview was conducted with Witness D on July 16th of 2019, during which Witness D indicated that Jessy had actually provided Witness D with information leading him to believe that Victim A had been hospitalized and in a coma for approximately 4 to 5 months prior to her death. Until Jessy shared information that Victim A was in a coma, she had not mentioned much about Victim A's health. On October 3rd of 2018, Witness D stated that Jessy, that's the day that Lynn died, that Jessy sent him a text message later in the morning about Victim A dying and stated that she was going to the hospital. He indicated he remembered that he was at work at the time. That was not consistent with when Jessy actually called 911. When Witness D saw Jessy that evening, she appeared to be somewhat distraught and crying. However, due to Victim A having been hospitalized and in a coma for months, it was somewhat expected that Victim A would pass away at some point. Witness D believed that Victim A's cause of death was related to the coma that she was in for approximately 4 to 5 months prior to her passing. Witness D also provided information related to Jessy having claimed that she, Jessy, had been poisoned with Visine. If you thought I can't get crazier, yes, she told her boyfriend that she thought she had been poisoned with Visine. He stated he looked back and the exact date of the incident was Saturday, January 12th, 2019. Witness D stated that Jessy had gone out with a few friends to see a Rebel Grace concert at Pistol Pete's. Witness D recalls being irritated because when she came home that night, she was a little loud while making herself some food. He believes it may have been around 1 a.m. and he was trying to sleep. Witness D stated that he asked Jessy to keep it down. He thought she may have been a little buzzed up because of all the noise she was making. At some point, she told him she did not feel well. He did not recall her throwing up or anything like that, but she was up for some time. She then got in her car and said she drove herself to the hospital around 6 a.m. She drove herself home at approximately 9 a.m. Jessy told Witness D that she went to the doctor and that they tested her, and she said they told her that she'd been drugged with Visine. She further stated to him that the police had been notified. Jessy stated that the doctor was required to notify the police due to believing that she had been drugged. Now, this does happen to a lot of people, actually. A lot of people have their drinks spiked with eye drops. And so this could have happened, but it's almost like alibi talk here or something, or trying to pretend that one is aware of Visine in case she gets asked a question, or, that her boyfriend will say, wait a minute, I think she said she was poisoned with Visine, so she can relate to what happened to Lynn, or whatever it is. It's just odd, the timing of her doing all of this, right? When Witness D contacted friends that she'd been out with, he was inquiring if anyone had been switching drinks. No one indicated seeing anything suspicious or switching drinks. He said in the back of his mind he could not see any of his friends doing such a thing. Jessy did not talk about any follow-up with the police, and after that day the issue was done and never talked about again. Upon Witness D learning that Victim A was never hospitalized long-term in a coma, he was in shock. Witness D further stated that he was once told by Jessy that Victim A had a do not resuscitate request in her will, and that according to Jessy, approximately 4 to 6 weeks before Victim A's death, the hospital resuscitated Victim A against her wishes. Jessy stated to Witness D that Jessy contacted an attorney regarding the issue and the attorney was taking care of it. Witness D then indicated that Jessy had a lot of elaborate stories. Witness D stated that because he believed Victim A was hospitalized in a coma and believed all of the things that Jessy had said about it were true, he actually commended Jessy for taking care of Victim A and told Jessy that Victim A was lucky to have Jessy and all that Jessy did for her. Witness D's ex-wife, Witness E, thought that Jessy's gift giving was a little weird. She stated that Jessy would give her gifts of $100 spa gift certificates. She felt it was odd behavior and believed that Jessy had to be charging all of these expensive gifts. She believed that Jessy was a habitual spender and must have had large amounts of credit card debt. Witness E made reference to Christmas gifts provided to her children, such as laptops and Game Boys. She was not sure where the money was coming from to purchase such large gifts. Witness E questioned if the elaborate gifts were all coming from Victim A's accounts. She felt that this would make the most sense to her, stating that Witness D makes normal money and Jessy wouldn't be working. She felt as though Jessy was excessively using credit cards for the purchases. Witness D's and E's daughter, Witness F, also felt as though Jessy's gift giving was excessive. She stated that because she was older, she would ask Jessy where these gifts were coming from. Witness F provided an example of Jessy's ability to spend money out of her range when Witness F was studying abroad. While she was studying in Thailand, Jessy had offered to purchase plane tickets for Witness E to go to Thailand to be with Witness F. Witness F stated that they were not used to gifts of such nature. Witness F also stated that Jessy made mention of a hospital malpractice issue. She asked if Jessy was going to sue the hospital, to which Jessy stated that they settled out of court by clearing all of Victim A's hospital fees. Witness E also provided information regarding what Jessy had shared with her. Witness E stated they would see each other at the children's sporting events, and Jessy told them that Victim A was in a coma. According to Witness E, it appeared that Jessy was telling multiple people different variations of the story. Jessy also told Witness E that the hospital was going to clear out all of Victim A's hospital fees and there'd be no charge for her care and treatment. On July 9th, 2019, a search warrant was conducted at Witness D and Jessy's residence. Jessy was arrested and placed on a probation and parole hold after the warrant execution. Jessy was transported to the Waukesha County Jail due to the probation and parole hold. Between July 9th, 2019 and July 19th, 2019, detectives spoke with Jessy 6 times, some at her request. Each interview took place at the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department, and Jessy was Mirandaized each time. Each time, Jessy waived her Miranda rights and indicated she wished to talk with Detective Hop and whatever other detective was present for the interview that day. On July 9th of 2019, Jessy again offered frustration that there were not any answers yet about how victim A died, whether it was a medical event or a suicide. Jessy talked about the illegal and legal controlled substances that she claimed victim A would use and abuse throughout her life. Jessy indicated that victim A was able to function on her own, handle most of her own finances, and had good days and bad days, but Jessy would assist her. Jessy said there was no official payment arrangement with victim A for her caregiving, but stated that victim A would give her checks or a credit card to use or cover Jessy and Flower's rent or car payments. Jessy stated that victim A was always helping everyone financially and giving money to everyone. Jessy said that victim A firmly believed that she wanted to spend all of her own money. Okay, because one day she would die, and then that would be it. Okay, detective shared with Jessy the anomaly in the toxicology results with the tetrahydrozoline, at which point Jessy begins explaining how frequently victim A used eye drops, saying that she was known for eye drops and that she purchased them in great volume, and there would be bottles and boxes from eye drops all over the residence. Jessy stated that victim A would buy 6 bottles at a time anytime she was at the store and would make Jessy buy her bottles all the time as well, even bring them into the hospital. Okay then, Jessy said she never saw victim A squeeze any drops into her mouth. Jessy talked about how victim A would drink alcohol to excess as she was abusing her medications and became very impaired at times. Jessy then discussed that 3 times the victim A told her, "Don't want to do this anymore," and suggested victim A asked Jessy for help, and Jessy would tell her no. Jessy said victim A was sick of being sick and gave up. Jessy then said victim A wouldn't eat and her body was shutting down. Jessy denied ever crushing up any pills for victim A before she left victim A's residence on October 3rd of 2019, but claimed that victim A had such a hard time swallowing that sometimes the medications did need to be crushed up. Jessy stated that they even argued about victim A abusing her medications. Detectives then tell Jessy that the medications listed in victim A's toxicology results were all within the therapeutic ranges, but that it was the tetrahydrozoline that actually killed victim A. Jessy stated that this is what victim A wanted. Wow, so when faced with, okay, we're gonna tell you, this is what killed Lynn, she's like, yep, that's what she wanted. Jessy then proceeded to tell detectives that victim A had looked at methods of suicide before, long ago, and stated that victim A must have known what she was doing and wanted to go out her own way. Jessy repeated that victim A always did things her own way, and no one was ever able to change her behaviors or mind about things. Detectives then tell Jessy that the medical examiner thinks that someone poisoned victim A because there was no eye drop bottles near victim A. And Jessy tells detectives how there were eye drop bottles all over the house. Detectives then indicate that the levels were not consistent with eye drop use in the eyes, but consumption. Jessy says she had never seen victim A drink eye drops and questions who would do that, and comments on how odd it was that the toxicology results for victim A's medications were normal. The detectives tell Jessy that the medical examiner thinks the pills and scene near victim A was staged, and Jessy says that she was the only one there and that she didn't stage anything. Jessy adamantly denied killing victim A and adamantly denied assisting victim A in her death. Jessy says she didn't give victim A any eye drops. Jessy did not recall calling her mother and talking for 4 minutes prior to calling 911 the day victim A was found after being asked by Detective Hop. Oh, that just left her memory. Jessy offered that victim A must have staged her own suicide with the crushed pills because Jessy maintained that she did not. Jessy also says she had never heard of Visine poisoning before. Yeah, except when she told her boyfriend months before, right? During the interview on July 10th, 2019, Jessy again denies ever hearing of someone dying from Visine poisoning and denies ever putting eye drops into anything for victim A to drink. Jessy again denies either intentionally killing victim A or assisting her suicide. Detective Hop confronts Jessy with information obtained from witness T, who stated at one time Jessy went to the hospital after a night out drinking, and Jessy told witness T that the hospital doctor told her that she'd been poisoned with Visine. Jessy denies that and says witness D got that wrong, that someone else she had been with had actually been poisoned with Visine that night. Jessy states she isn't buying what the medical examiner is saying. Jessy then says that she actually had seen victim A drink Visine with vodka before her death and tells Detective Hop that the day before victim A died, she was drinking vodka and Visine. Jessy had no rational explanation for not disclosing this information to detectives during either of the prior 2 interviews. Jessy then says that once victim A started having so much Visine at the house, she researched it. Jessy said victim A tried pills twice, but it didn't work. Jessy then says that victim A had Visine dumped into a bottle of vodka for days prior to her death. Jessy claimed that victim A had become very ill twice before her death from drinking Visine, and she was shitting all over. Jessy then says victim A had been trying to kill herself by drinking Visine in vodka. Jessy said victim A would try different doses in water bottles or vodka, and she would get very sick. Jessy denied ever mixing any Visine in any water bottle or vodka for victim A, but said she continued to purchase the Visine for victim A, even though she didn't agree with it. Despite this, Jessy said she would regularly throw bottles of water away because she suspected that they had Visine in them. Jessy then said that victim A had used her phone to search for suicide methods and looked into buying a pill online, the Hood method, and even purchased a gun on the internet, which Jessy said she disposed of. Jessy said she had saved victim A from herself numerous times, including walking in on victim A twice with a gun in her hand. Jessy indicated she does not agree with suicide. Detective Hop then revisits the information from witness D about Jessy's poisoning with Visine one night. Jessy ultimately says that she voluntarily drank some Visine that night to see what it was like, and indicated she was so mad at victim A for taking the easy way out. Jessy said that this made her ill. Jessy maintained that the last time she knew victim A had Visine in vodka was the night prior to her death, not on October 3rd of 2018. During the interview on July 11th of 2019, Jessy continued to state that she never gave any Visine to victim A the morning of her death on October 3rd of 2018. An hour later, Jessy says that the water bottle in the photograph from the scene of victim A's death had 6 bottles of Visine in it. How would she know? Jessy said victim A told her it had 6 bottles of Visine in it. And when victim A told Jessy that she wanted that bottle, Jessy brought it to her, knowing that it had Visine in it. I mean, she sounds like a great caretaker, right? She's caretaking. That's what she's there to do. But you know what? According to her, if the victim asked her for a water bottle with 6 bottles of Visine in it, okay. My goodness. Jessy said she didn't think it would kill victim A because it hadn't killed her yet. What a statement. And victim A had been drinking it regularly for so long. Jessy said her and victim A fought about it for an hour prior to Jessy leaving the residence that morning, and she finally gave in and gave the water with 6 Visine bottles in it to victim A. Jessy said it was her choice. Jessy states she knows she's probably going to prison for the rest of her life for helping victim A to do what she wanted, and then Jessy said she finally told the detectives everything. In the interview on July 12th of 2019, Jessy tells detectives that she has items in a storage unit under someone else's name, like recordings of victim A's wishes, a partial firearm, dated Visine bottles, and papers that victim A signed somewhere, but she won't release the items until she's ready. Jessy tells the detectives to have her probation agent lift the hold for 1 to 2 weeks so she can get things in order, and assures them she will not run and hide and would wear an electronic monitor. Detective Hop comments how it seems mind-boggling that Jessy has information that would assist her, but she's withholding it. Jessy says she kept this hoard of items for her own benefit, in case anything happened. Ultimately, Jessy says the items are not in a storage shed, they are buried several feet underground at Whitnall Park in freezer bags. Your complainant is aware that officers used a map that Jessy assisted in creating to attempt to locate the burial site, and the above-mentioned items, but these efforts were fruitless and none of the items were ever located. In the interview on July 16th of 2019, Jessy assures detectives that she could find the buried items if they let her go to the park herself. Jessy was ultimately allowed to watch detectives at Whitnall Park via video call so she could direct them to where she allegedly buried her hoard of evidence. This was again fruitless. Sometime after Jessy sees detectives using a metal detector to locate the buried firearm pieces, she tells them that the gun might have actually been made of plastic pieces and that none of the metal firing parts are buried. Jessy also indicates that any financial transactions that were done were with Victim A's consent and stated she was absolutely certain she never wrote herself a check from Victim A's accounts and only ever signed Victim A's name on a check if it was for a bill and Victim A was sitting right there. Jessy claimed that Victim A was someone who wrote more checks than she'd ever seen before and gave a lot of people large amounts of money, as much as $40,000 to $50,000 in one instance. Jessy also offered that she's right-handed and Victim A was left-handed. Jessy also offered that her mother, Flower, was left-handed. In the interview on July 19th, 2019, Detective Hop briefly discusses things with Jessy for the last time, and she maintains that she has things buried that would assist her claim that the death was a suicide. Your complainant further bases this complaint on a review of criminal complaints filed in Milwaukee County cases, and there's all those cases there that we've looked at before as well, where Jessy, the above-named defendant, and the associated investigative reports of the various Milwaukee County police agencies where those offenses occurred, which is the forgery and the fraud. Said information is relevant other acts evidence, as this evidence is offered as proof of motive, intent, preparation, knowledge, and method of operation. In the case in 2010, the investigation revealed that there were actually 4 cases from 2010, and I've done a presentation which was on day 2 of the trial coverage, so if you want to check that out, there's some bullet points there for you. So the investigation revealed that between approximately November 30th of 2009 and approximately February 1st of 2010, a business, Quick Click Loans, had received 8 loan applications submitted in a short period of time from the same computer IP address, which is listed to Westside Healthcare Clinic in Milwaukee. 2 of those applications resulted in credit having been obtained in the names of 2 victims, totaling $4,000. Both victims indicated no one had their permission or consent to use any of their identifying information or to obtain loans or money in their names. Detective Rosenstein interviewed Jessy regarding these offenses, and she admitted that through her employment at Westside Healthcare Clinic, she took patients' personal identifying information and began to submit applications for online loans through both Quick Click Loans and CheckCity.com. Jessy stated that she thought that she would just use the loans for her rent since she had been out of work before starting to work for Westside Healthcare. She admitted that she had received money from 2 loans totaling $4,000. Further investigation determined that Jessy obtained the information of one of the 2 victims through Westside Healthcare, but obtained the information of the second victim from when she worked with that victim at Wheaton Franciscan. The reports of Detective Rosenstein indicate that on April 26th of 2010, he received a report from the Forest County Potawatomi community regarding the usage of a Potawatomi Bingo Casino Firekeepers Club card registered to Jessy, revealing that from January 1st, 2010 until April 22nd, 2010, Jessy had a total loss of $44,000. Oh my goodness. In 2010, on or about July 16th of 2010, Jessy appeared at a payday loan store in West Allis in violation of an earlier bail prohibiting such contact, attempting to get a car title loan. Jessy presented a loan application form made out in the name of her mother, Jennifer Flower, and had with her a replacement title to her mother's 2008 Ford, a photocopy of her mother's social security card, and a copy of a check from her mother's bank account. Jessy represented herself as Jennifer Flower and requested that she receive $2,500 in cash and a check for $6,350 for the remaining part of the loan. When officers came to the scene, Jessy told them she was Jennifer Flower. However, the West Allis officers checked with Detective Todd Rosenstein of the MCSD, who was familiar with Jessy, described her, and knew she was out on bail for a felony. Jessy then stated that she was there with permission from her mother to apply for a loan. Jennifer Flower was interviewed in 2010 as part of the above investigation and was obviously upset with Jessy and stated that Jessy had been ruining the entire family's lives. Flower stated that she has reached the end of her rope in dealing with Jessy's antics. She stated that she was missing her social security card, identification, a book of personal checks, and the title to a 2008 Ford. Jessy stated that these items had been locked up in a file cabinet and that Jessy broke into the cabinet to obtain the documents. Jennifer further stated that she has been calling Potawatomi to see if Jessy had been gambling again and that she was advised that Jessy remains on the ban and cannot gamble or enter the premises. Jessy was interviewed regarding this incident and indicated that she used to have a gambling addiction and that is why she began obtaining money fraudulently from payday loan stores. Further investigation determined that a fraudulent title loan in the name of Jennifer Flower on her 2008 Ford was successfully obtained from Cottonwood Financial on June 18, 2010. Initially for $6,600, but became delinquent and the balance owed was $8,393. Said loan was obtained without permission or consent of Jennifer Flower. In another case, on September 16th of 2010, Jessy created a fraudulent savings account in the name of a friend's mother by stealing that victim's identity information while living with the victim's daughter. Jessy created the fraudulent account by sending the credit union copies of the victim's social security card and Wisconsin driver's license, altering the information on the face of both documents. Jessy then purported to be the victim and tried to have herself, Jessy, added to the account. At the time this offense was committed, Jessy was already out on bail for those other two cases. In another case, on October 18th of 2010, Jessy attempted to pay an outstanding hotel bill with a fraudulent cashier's check. Reports indicated that Jessy was living at Mainstay Suites in Oak Creek under the name of Jennifer Flower. When officers confronted her about the check, she lied about who she was and identified herself as Jennifer Flower. She admitted she lied because she knew she had 3 warrants for her arrest. In her possession were 4 blank checks, 3 of which were duplicates of each other, and the number 110 in the upper right corner. Jessy later stated that she had printed the checks herself and there was no good reason why all 3 had the same number. She went on to explain that she used check printing software based off of a CD at a computer located in the library or other locations to print these checks. It reminds me of the movie Catch Me If You Can, huh? Jessy explained that this check writing software was commonplace and easy to obtain. So is fakepolygraphtest.com, as we saw with Letitia Stach, right? An employee from the bank from which the fraudulent cashier's check was purported to have originated indicated that it was not proper for anyone to print checks with their logo on. They further stated that the account the check referred to was opened 2 weeks earlier and was already overdrawn. It was identified as a business account of Jessy. The reports of Detective Cole indicate speaking to Witness G, an inmate at Taycheedah Correctional Institute. Witness G stated that while she was the roommate of Jessy, Jessy had an emotional breakdown and stated that she gave victim A several bottles of Visine to kill her, and Jessy's mother wanted Jessy to keep quiet about it, and that everyone thinks she did it for the money, but she did it to stop victim A's suffering. Oh, now she's a hero. We see that happen a lot. Remember Brian Laundrie, when he made it as if when he murdered Gabby Petito, it was a mercy kill. That sounds like this too. Witness G stated that Jessy said she put the Visine in victim A's water bottle and that she had bought it at different stores. She also stated that Jessy used her phone to look it up online and that she had her friend delete the search from her phone. Witness G stated that Jessy said her mom used some old paperwork to obtain victim A's medical records. Witness G stated that Jessy said she gave victim A the Visine in the morning and came back later that night. It's horrible. So Lynn died alone. Witness G finally indicated that Jessy stated that a caregiving service was going to start soon and that Jessy was not going to take care of her anymore. The reports of Detective Loberg indicate that his investigation revealed that when analyzing responses of financial institutions, it was apparent that victim A's financial activities changed over time as contact with Jessy increased. The activity of victim A's finances began to reflect what was revealed to more closely resemble the normal financial activity of Jessy and her financial accounts. In addition, after victim A's death, Jessy was in control of victim A's estate, and in that capacity, Jessy created false documents showing that payments were made towards some of victim A's debts. However, it was determined that receipts showing those payments were fabricated, and the alleged debts that were being paid with the assets of the estate were on accounts that never belonged to victim A and were not, in fact, debts of the estate. Approximately almost $16,000 was taken from victim A's estate in this manner when Jessy created fraudulent documents to suggest that those monies were used to pay debts. However, because those debts never existed, those monies are unaccounted for and believed stolen by Jessy. The reports of Detective O'Toole and an analysis of financial records indicate that victim A's pattern of spending changed drastically over time, going from having and using very few credit cards and making few credit card purchases, which were paid off each month, to a pattern of using many different credit cards, and those credit cards being maxed out to the credit limit with very little payment being made for many months. Detective O'Toole believes said records establish fraudulent activity on the accounts beginning on most in approximately June of 2018. That's around the time that she told her boyfriend, Lynn is in a coma. One account had such activity beginning as early as 2016. The total fraud believed committed is approximately $290,000. Approximately $130K was believed to have been transferred fraudulently by check from victim A to Jessy. The amount was arrived at based on the different places of credit card activity, the amounts, the frequency of use, and based on the continued activity after victim A's death. This investigation further reveals that at or near the time of victim A's death, the total cash assets available to her in her 3 accounts had diminished to only approximately $4,221.11. Her incurred debts at or near the time of her death had risen to approximately $72,000. And we learned a lot about Lynn, during the first week of the trial, that she was very frugal. She was very careful with her money. She mostly used cash. She didn't like tech. So, yeah, Jessy seemed to have rolled in and just taken full advantage of her. The financial records of Jessy also show continued spending at gambling establishments. Her landmark credit account revealed that between August 28, 2018, when the account was opened, and July 9th of 2019, when she was taken into custody, Jessy spent approximately $23,455 between Waukesha Casino in Milwaukee and the Ho Chunk Casino in Baraboo. One of Jessy's Wells Fargo accounts shows that between July 19th of 2016 and May 7th of 2018, the purchases and or withdrawals at the Pewaukee Casino total approximately $31,000. During these periods of time, Jessy was on an extended supervision through the Department of Corrections, and as a condition of that supervision, she was not allowed to gamble or have contact with casinos. Given the deteriorating financial circumstances of victim A caused by Jessy, the theft of monies from victim A's estate by Jessy, the long-term and admitted gambling addiction of Jessy with substantial monetary losses, and the demonstrated other acts evidence of identity theft, forgery, and uttering committed by Jessy, your complainant believes that Jessy had motive, the method, and the opportunity to intentionally cause the death of victim A. Based on the foregoing, the complainant believes this complaint to be true and correct. And there it is signed. That was a long probable cause affidavit, but it makes sense, right? So, I hope that you will join us. If you haven't yet caught up, go and look at day 1. Just the presentation would be very helpful, and there were some really good witnesses on day 1 and 2 as well. Day 3, from my memory, was a little bit of a drag with lots of cross-examination. So far, I think day 4 was the most interesting. Now on day 5, what we're going to see tomorrow, if you're watching this on the day that I recorded this, we are going to look at one of Jessy's interviews with the police. And she actually sounds so much like Nicole Kessinger from the Watts case that I had to do a double take. I'm like, wait, what? Is that? Oh, it's Jessy. So we're going to look at that, and I'll be offering you commentary, and I'll make sure that it's a zero fluff, concise trial day, which is why, as I say, I do it with a day delay for this trial so that you can watch it in minimal time, get the most information possible, and that we can just see what happens in this case. Because, of course, Jessy is innocent or proven guilty in a court of law. It just seems to not be going very well in the trial for her. Her defense team's strategy seems to be to victim shame to the max. It's horrible. So many of us have been getting very upset about how much they're victim blaming and shaming and making as if Lynn did this to herself. So join us for day 5, subscribe, hit it again. Actually, YouTube's made so many changes now that if you now subscribe, it actually lights up. It's very exciting. And you can tap it again, set notifications to all. If you wouldn't mind liking and sharing this video so that others that haven't seen this probable cause read through yet can actually see it. And we're all prepared then for day 5, 6, 7, and 8 and 9 this week, okay? This trial is supposed to be about 15 days long, so 15 court days, 3 weeks or so. So we will be watching this until the jury is done deliberating, and then we shall see when sentencing will be. I look forward to it with you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Stay safe.